anyone else have curly hair and just get cow's licks? Look at this. See the number of times I've blow dried this to go away, and it just comes out. Go away, little cow's lick. Okay. Hi everybody, welcome back to Laaleebee Knits. My name is Natalie. I'm a knitter based in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and I share my little love of knitting here on YouTube. It's been a little while. The number of videos I say that, I annoy myself. It's been a little while. Guess what? I got sick again. So right after my last podcast episode, Neil got sick and I just knew that I was going to get it. He loves to share. He loves to be near me when he's sick, and we live in a small house anyway, so it was bound to happen. So he recovered. I got really, really sick. Another chest infection. It really knocked me for six this time. It was kind of the worst one I've had this year. So that wasn't fun. Ended up going for an x-ray, going for blood tests, going on strong antibiotics and then even more strong antibiotics. But yeah, I'm at the tail end of those now. It hasn't been fun. Yeah, I've been sick with that for about 3 weeks. And I'm kind of coming out the tail end of it. So that's good. But I've been so sick this year. Ever since getting COVID in Edinburgh, it has just wiped out my immune system. I cannot handle catching these colds because they just turn into huge other things. So anyway, the doctor's keeping an eye on it. We'll see if anything comes of it. Hopefully that's me now. Surely I've had enough. Surely. But does mean I've been away for a good bit, but I have plenty to share with you. I have a couple more life updates, but I'll probably give those at the end of the episode because I want to just get straight into this. Right? First of all, before I forget, I'm wearing my first spring sorrel. This yarn is by Giddy Ant Yarns, who is now Inspiring Yarns. It was their leprechaun colourway, so not available at the minute, but I'm sure Inspiring Yarns will be coming out with something to replace it because this is just the perfect colour. So this is my spring sorrel. It's the first one I've knit. It's by Wool and Pine, and I've knit 3 of them, and I am tempted to knit another one. Beautiful little pattern, little t-shirt, perfect for spring. I actually wear them all year round. I really like wearing them over dresses. It's a cropped jumper. And sometimes plus size people like me don't think that crop jumpers sit them. I know that I avoided them for a long time, but actually I really like where this cuts me off. I think it's really flattering. It gives me a bit of a shape rather than something baggier. I just really like the fit of it. I think it's a really flattering silhouette, and it's size inclusive as well, which is very positive. So that's what I'm wearing. This is an old shawl that I knit last year, Andrea Mari. Can't remember what that one is. What, the fade maybe? My voice isn't back to, I've got that coke here. My voice isn't back to normal. I can hear it going croaky already. Bear with. Bear with. Okay. I have 3 finished objects. 3! I'll start with the biggest and go to the smallest, right? Actually, I have 4. I don't have one with me. 4 finished objects. Who is she? So, yeah, let's go with the first one. I finished my... Oh, it's upside down. A tune shawl. This is the front. Is that the front? No, it's the back. I finished my... Oh yeah, no, that was the front. Oh my god. It's reversible. This is the Tune Shawl by Renee Knits. Let me pull up the end there. It is half brioche, half fisherman's rib, and then you go into just a nice garter stitch, which I modified. She has a particular pattern for your garter stitch. I just did plain. By this stage I was over it and I just wanted to get it off the needles. Andrea Murray is doing a shawl-along so you can knit any of her shawl patterns and enter them in the prize if you finish before the 31st of May. So if you're looking for a speedy project, or you have a lot of time to speed knit a project, you can still enter. Her shawls, for me, I'm a very slow knitter when it comes to Andrea Murray's shawls. I kind of lost steam. So this should be thicker than it is, but I'd had enough. So it had been on the needles for about 18 months, I think. It was too long. So, was it 18 months? When did I cast this on? Yeah, I did cast it on and it languished for a long time. So I blocked it vigorously and it really opened up. I'm thinking it might be a gift because I think I'm just sick of the colours now. I'm over the colours. I kind of am in my brights because it's kind of springy. So this might end up being a gift maybe for Gran, because she gets so chilly that she would, I think, would like a big cowl blanket type thing to wrap herself in. It's not really her colours, but I'll see. I do have a friend whose colours it is more. So I'll do a little bit of brainstorming. But that's my Attune shawl. I used a 3-part, look how organised I am. I've got post-it notes for everything. Post-it notes. Sorted myself out properly, organised myself, because I knew I've been away for so long and the people need the details. So, Attune shawl by Drea Renee Knits, knit it on a 3.5mm needle, and I used 250 grams of fingering weight yarn in total. So that's a big whip off my needles. I was so happy when I finished it. I finished it a couple of weeks ago, so it's just been sitting waiting to be showed off. So yeah, once I got that off the needles, I thought, I'm clearing my needles. And so my next finished object is my Allure camisole. Let me show you this. I put a little picture up on my Instagram stories, and so you can see what it looks like on, but let me find. Do you know what? See, since after you wear these, they stretch out hugely. Here is my Allure camisole. This is a pattern by Kadri. I knit the 2XL. There's loads of sizes in this one, but Kadri is not an inclusive designer. I think this is one of the few size inclusive patterns they have. It's actually quite, their response has been quite disappointing. They're not willing to make other patterns more size inclusive. So I got this pattern before I realised that was their kind of attitude towards it. So I believe, so I've heard, I think Rebecca from PurlBackKnitForward podcast looked into it a wee bit more. So that is my camisole. Look at the little I-cord edge, beautiful. Did a little I-cord strap. Did these much shorter than the pattern called for. The pattern tells you to knit them as long as you want them, but their recommendation, these are much shorter and they've stretched from me wearing it. I've already worn it out. It's beautiful. I love the yarn. Do you remember whenever Chloe and I were like, kind of feels like a face cloth? No, it's beautiful. It's knit in Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the colour cream, and I used 150 grams on the dot. So 3 skeins, bit wrinkled, don't like too cozy. 3 skeins, I think they're maybe 10.25 a skein. I got it in knit with a double T.co.uk. It's a wee local yarn shop. And I love it. It's a beautiful layering piece. And 3 skeins on the dot. It makes this beautiful piece really affordable. But I will say it has stretched a lot more than I anticipated. And it doesn't have the bounce back that wool does. So these have definitely stretched. It's stretched this way too. I think I will knit the pattern again because I have bought it. I won't really be purchasing other patterns from them unless their stance changes to size inclusivity. But I think for my next one I'll probably cast on and knit a smaller size at the top and then increase out because I've quite narrow shoulders and then my hips are much broader than my shoulders are, so I think that would be a way to improve the fit. But yeah, got that off my needles. Actually ended up really enjoying it. It's a beautiful piece. It's a beautiful material. Love the yarn. Will definitely knit out of this again. So it's my second finished object. Okay. Got my little post-it note. You're not ready for this. You're not ready. I wasn't ready. I'm still not ready. I can't cope. Look. I'm showing it here where nobody can say, look at this little frog. Look at him. This is my little frog. He doesn't have a name yet. Francis, probably. This is a pattern by Claire Garland. I knit him on a 3.25mm needle with Jemison and Smith 2-ply jumper weight yarn held double. Obviously I got 2 colours. And he is 27 grams in total, including I stuffed him with like yarn scraps from other projects. So they're small little. And then I tacked in his little legs to make him sit like a little frog. That's it. I love him. I love him. Look. Hated knitting it. Hated knitting it. Oh, yeah. Little footery knitting is not for me. I have made some amigurumi things with crochet before, and I do like that. I find that's much easier than this. I think because I was holding Jemison and Smith double, and the gauge was really tight, which I wanted so the stuffing wouldn't come out. But I think because I was holding that double and it's a very woolly yarn, it's not a superwash. So it's not, the stitches aren't as clearly defined or easy and slippery to pick up. Made it a bit difficult, but I wanted the kind of rustic look. I think he looks gorgeous. I really love him. He's just so cute. So I'm gonna find a crochet version because as soon as I finished it, Neil was like, I need one. I'm like, I'm not knitting this again, Neil. Everyone I've shown it to, they're like, make me one. I'm like, no. But I might crochet, find a crochet version and try the crochet. I know loads of people love knitting. I think the Americans call them stuffies. I don't know what we call them. I think we just call them teddies. But yeah, I don't like the knitting. I like the crochet better. I like the effect. I like the product, but I didn't enjoy the knitting. So he had sat in time out for a little while. I got these safety eyes from Amazon, but yeah, he's finished. He sits on my bookcase. Love him. Oh, he's so cute. So that's my finished objects. Oh no, I have another finished object. So I do not have this finished object anymore because Botanical Yarns put up a call for sample knitters to knit a pair of socks. and I put my hand up for it. This is before I got sick. I put my hand up for it and was like, I will knit you socks. Gimme the yarn. So I knit, as per their request, the I'm So Basic Socks by Summerly Knits. It is a basic tutorial on how to knit your first socks. It's not just a pattern, it is step by step. You've never picked up needles to knit a pair of socks before. It even shows you how to do, so it's written for circular needles. What's that called? My brain does not work anymore. What's that called? Magic lip. It's written for magic lip knitting. So if you are unfamiliar with magic lip but you want to try writing a pair of socks, this is a perfect pattern for you. For me, as someone more experienced with socks, it was hard to find the details, like the specific stitch counts or whatever, but that was fine. It's a free pattern, really, really detailed hand-holding tutorial on how to knit socks. It's incredible that it's free. But yeah, I will show you my finished pair. So I believe this is Botanical Yarn's new oh, you can't really see that, let me turn that. It's their new colour. Oh, great. Can you see, is that too dark? That's too dark. iPhone adjusting, annoying. It's one of their new colours for May. Is it peonies? Is that what they're... Let me find out. I should have found that out before. Botanical Yarn. I know you can still get the socks. It's Sakura. Of course it's Sakura. So they have a Sakura sock collection, and I believe this is the Sakura Kojo kit on their website. You get 2 minis and the full skein. The sock set is... oh, I don't know. Merino sock. The merino sock on its own is £21. I'm sure they're still doing their sock sets, but yes, that's what I knit for them. The I'm So Basic Socks by Summerly Knits for Botanical Yarns as one of their sample knits. So I sent that off already. I knit the size medium and to fit a size 5 UK. And they wanted the alternating heels, toes and cuffs. And I used 68.5 grams total. I think the leg was about 6.5 inches. So that's a full pair of socks for 70 grams of yarn. So I think that's... I love a little 70 gram sock set. Love it. Because I don't like having loads and loads of leftovers. And I rarely want to knit 2 pairs of socks out of one skinny yarn. 4 finished objects. Well done, Natalie. So those were posted off, and then Botanical Yarn, those ladies went to Knit City, so there's been a wee bit of a delay from that. And then there's a bank holiday this weekend, so we'll see. We'll see if they pop up for them. It would be really cool if they took them to Knit City, because my knitting would be in Canada. I've never been there. But anyway, those are all my finished objects. I think that's pretty good considering how ill it was, and also how much writing I had to do. I wrote an 8,000 word book chapter in the last 3 weeks while being really sick, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good going. Obviously I knit more when I'm procrastinating from writing. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3 works in progress. First one, let's continue the sock theme. I'm knitting a pair of socks for my mammy. These are the My Cup of Tea socks. They're one of my favourite patterns. Let me show you. I've got... And again, this is in Giddy Ants yarns. They're not Inspiring yarns. And this is a mini from my Pixie Yarns Advent from a couple of years ago, 2022 I think. So yeah, this is one of my favorite patterns. I think it's free. Very simple fan lace. Easy. Well, it's not actually easy to remember. I do need to read my pattern for every row, but very rhythmic. It takes me about half an hour to do one repeat. So yeah, these are going to be Afterthought heels. Now, I had a lovely viewer ask me some questions ages ago, and I couldn't answer them because I was sick, but I said I would answer them here. Let me find my questions. Find it. Right. Hopefully Neil will have cut that long scrolling. This is a wee question from Natasha Mann, who wanted to know about knitting for a bigger calf size, and also wanted to know about Afterthought heels. So she said she's trying to find the right sock size for her calves versus her foot, and she's tried doing 72 stitches on a 2.5 which fit but are a little bit loose. So what I've been experimenting a little bit with this. I need to go back to it. What I have tried is knitting my leg. When I want to knit a long sock, my legs are chunky, and it's a part of knitting the plus size inclusive conversation hasn't reached yet, because there's no such thing as plus size socks for people, and yet I'm sure I can't be the only one who has chunky little calves where the standard size of socks fits my foot but doesn't fit my calf because there's too big of a thing, which is problematic when it comes to knitting colour work. I'm very put off by knitting colour work in my socks because I know that it won't look right on my foot. It'll stretch and distort the image, or I'll have to modify it so much to create kind of a gusset to fit my leg. So it's something that I want to think about a little bit more closely. I think there's definitely a gap in sock design for adjusting the width of your calf. Right now I don't have the brain power to write something for that, but if it doesn't materialize within the next year, I'll probably set about trying to just explore that and see the best ways of knitting a bigger calf for a foot that still fits like a standard sock would fit somebody on a standard size, in scare quotes. Having said all that, I have tried increasing my needle size and knitting my leg of my sock in that bigger needle size, and then what I did was around the ankle, because the ankle and the heel is where I want it to be tighter to hold my foot in place, my sock in place. Hold my foot in place, like my foot's just dangling. I switched my needles back to my normal 2.25 to knit the heel and the foot, and that means it does give me a little bit of control over of the fit of the sock. It's not a perfect solution by any means, and I do want to look into how easy it would be to add a gusset into the leg of the sock. How much would you have to distort the sock in order to make it work? And also I've knit bigger socks that just fall down, or the rate of decrease is too rapid or not rapid enough. Anyway, there's a lot of messing about to do with that, and also I'm only experimenting on my own leg, and obviously people carry weight differently, so it's something that I can't just write a standard plus size pattern for. I'd rather learn how to make adjustments for myself and then figure out how to translate that for other people to do their own adjustments. So for now, I've tried with your... For now, Natasha's using a 2.5, which fits in her leg but not in her foot. I would go down after you've knit the leg to your 2.25 and it should fit your foot better. you tell I don't script this? Jeez Louise, Natalie. All that to say, she also wanted to know about Afterthought heels. Now, where's my post-it note? Earth Tones Girl has a really good tutorial that goes in depth, it's quite long, on Afterthought heels, including how to find where to put your Afterthought heel. So I would recommend that. I'll link it below. I'll also show you how I am planning to put the heels into these socks for my mum. So I do have a sock ruler. Can I find it? No. Great. But I have a sock ruler from Hanks that's basically like a wooden ruler that I can slip into my sock, and it makes it easier. But I couldn't find it, so I had to do it the old school way. What I did was, first thing I do is I have a look at my toe, because when you insert an Afterthought heel, if you don't know, you basically cut your knitting and knit a toe as your heel. So what I do is I take my toe and my ruler and I measure from the tip of my toe. I measure how long this is. So I've got about 4 centimeters. I usually do it in inches, but for some reason it just went to 4 centimeters. This toe is knit 3 plain rounds and then start my decreases, decrease evenly. So this is 4 centimeters long. Then what you do is you take the length of the foot of either your foot or the person you're gifting. So I know my mum is a size UK 4. So I looked up how long a size UK 4 foot is and I measured it. So took my sock, measured the UK size 4. Then I took 4 centimeters off that because that's what my heel is going to cover. And that's what this looks like. So I measured up to the size 4, then went back 4 centimeters, and this is where I want to pick up. So I put a little stitch marker on this stitch here, and what I did was I went in here and picked up 32 stitches all along this row. That's half of my total. So if you're knitting a bigger sock, if you're doing this 72 stitch sock, that would be what, 36? I've got 32 here, then I skip a row and then 32 here, and that's my needles in. So then what I'm going to do is open my sock up, snip just one of these stitches. First time I did it, I snipped all the stitches. Don't do that. Don't do that, that's wrong. Snip one stitch and then unravel to here and unravel to here, and that means you'll have a little tail that you'll be able to sew in at the end. And when I'm unraveling them, I leave the last 2 on here and here because that'll stop there being a little hole. So I'm going to unravel, but I'm still going to leave those 2 on this needle and knit them. And basically what you do is you put your beginning round, you knit 3 plain, and then you do your decreases like your toe, and you'll end up with an Afterthought heel. And that's how I do them. If you want a more in-depth version of that very speedy run through, go to Earth Tones Girl on YouTube. I'll link that below. So yeah, these are little socks for my mammy. I finished both of them, so happy. And her birthday's at the start of June, so plenty of time to put the heels in those, and then also knit up her little collar that she wants. So, did I say what this is out of? Yeah. They're 9 Inspiring Yarns. It was a little random scheme. I'm flying through these today. Okay. So I've been doing a lot of plain stockinette, and I was getting a little bit bored of it. And the sock alleviated some of that boredom because it was a nice little lace pattern. But I was craving colour work. And so I've been talking about casting on a little Kindle cozy for a long time. using the doodle patterns from Pacific Knit Co. And so I cast that on. This is I hesitate to say self-drafted pattern. I cast on some stitches and started to knit. My Kindle is, I don't know what this is. It's one of those, oh, she's grubby, she's old. She's well used. I cast on, what size is she? 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches. I cast on 90 stitches, 92 stitches, because 96 would be too many. That sounds facetious. I need to explain that. Okay. The doodle colourwork charts are all 24 stitches each. If I wanted to put those in evenly, I would have had to have cast on 96 stitches. But 96 stitches would be too long. It would make it baggy. This fits just nicely. So I did 92 and I've just modified the pattern a slight little bit just to fit it in. So these are little doodle patterns. I think it's from her floral or spring one. I'll look it up, and I think it's a mix of all the doodles, so I'll just link you to her Ravelry profile. And yeah, I'm just gonna slip this in. So I initially started it with 72 and it fit, but it stretched out, and so the colourwork didn't look too good. So the 92 works pretty well, I think. It's gonna be nice. So the main colour is a Coop Knits Soxia colour. No idea what the colour is called. They're very strange, unreadable names. And then I'm using a mini set that I showed, I think, last time, called, who's this from? Ducky something? I have my little, yes I do, Ducky Darlings yarn set. This is their Crocus Spring Minis. I wrote it here. She's very organised. That's their Crocus Spring Minis. They're all in there. And while I was knitting it, I realised that the blue was too light. So this is the blue in the set. There wasn't enough contrast between the blue and my main colour. So I replaced it with another Coop Knits brighter blue. And then my peachy pink was also pretty low contrast, so I replaced it with this neon, also Coop Knits mini that I had sitting around scrappy. So yeah, I'm just gonna work on that slowly. I'm gonna do a bumblebee here. I said book they're advertising. A beachside romance. It's not what I'm reading at the minute. It's just I didn't pay for the non-advertisement Kindle, so I get adverts for books I'll never read. Yeah. I think the next one's a bee, and then there's some sort of something here I've picked. And then I think I'll do a little folded hem just to give the top a little bit of structure, and that'll be my little Kindle cozy. This is a little stitch marker from who is that from? It's either Marshmallow Avenue, who makes them as earrings, not as stitch markers, or Chapel View Crafts, who does make them as stitch markers. I think it might be Marshmallow Avenue. I'll link that below. It's really cute. Look at the little ice cream texture and the waffle cone. Cute. That's in my little spring bag that I made. Very cute. Matches the colours. And I'm knitting that on 2.25mm needles. Mainly because I wanted to see what it would look like. That's what I knit my socks on with Finger Mate yarns. I wanted to see if I liked the fabric. All of the colourwork socks that I've knit have been too big. So, well, the first one was way too tight. The rest I've overcompensated and now they're too big, so we'll see. But I wanted to see that and see how I like the fabric. And it is nice. It is nice. Okay, last whip. This is in my Bridgerton inspired bag that I made. Oh, I can't go with this. Look at that bee. And then on the other side, I put the hive in the center. Is this not the cutest fabric you've ever seen? I'm obsessed with Bridgerton. I'm obsessed with Nicola Coughlan. Listen, I know that it is a fantasy romance program and it's not some sort of intellectual thing. I know all that. I absolutely love it. I can't get enough of Nicola Coughlan. I wish she was my best friend. Love it. Love her. Binge watched the latest season. Obsessed. And then I went and I watched Big Mood, which is her other program she's in, and it is so funny and so heartbreaking all at once. I'd really recommend that to you. It's on Channel 4, on their Channel 4 player, if you're in the UK. If you're not in the UK, I think it's Tubi. I don't. There's another streaming platform that has it on that. But yeah, I love Bridgerton. So I made this with that fabric as the inside, and then I had some left over, so I made this with that fabric on the inside. So I made this one's the medium size, and this is the sock size. And I just think they're so cute. I love them. They make me so happy. So this is my newest cast on. I cast this on yesterday. I am knitting the Toolsters Tee. This is by Chiaogoo Knits, or the Chiaogoo podcast. Her name's Rebecca Clow. Not sure. Let me find the front. I think this is the front. Cast this on last night. First of all, I cast on the recommended ease in this pattern is not to like 1 or 2 inches, and I don't tend to like that ease. Having said that, this is a 0%. This is actually negative ease, I think, and I love the fit of this. So I should have not second guessed the designer, but I wanted it to fit looser. I knit a swatch and realised I had to go up a needle size, so I went up a needle size dutifully, and I knit it, and it was too big. Like I had done 4 raglan increases and it was here. I tried it on and was like, no, this is too big, and I didn't really like the fabric I was getting. Then I checked my gauge. Gauge was way off. So the gauge in the pattern is 17 stitches. I got 17 stitches with an increased needle size. Checked my gauge after I'd been knitting it for a while. It was 14 stitches, which is way too loose. So I think my lesson there is that gauge swatching doesn't work for me. I need to just accept the fact that I will probably have to rip out a pattern. I will have to start knitting the pattern, check my gauge, and then rip it out if I need to. Because swatching is not helping me. I cannot seem to swatch, even though I'm doing all the tricks, I cannot seem to swatch and get the same tension when I'm knitting. It's just not happening. So all that to say, I'm knitting the Toolster Tee. I'm knitting, it was originally a cast on size 6. I've now gone down to size 5. Here it is. It's not very much, because I only started yesterday. It's got my hair in it, that's nice, isn't it? So this is size 5, which is 47.25 inches, the final thing's supposed to be. And I'm knitting this in yarn that's just falling to pieces. This is Drops Bell, which is a DK yarn. Drops Bell Unicolor Everyday Luxury. This is a 50-gram ball. 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. Feels beautiful. It's a bit more buttery than the cream of my camisole. I'll show you in comparison. Oh yeah, like it looks yellow in beside it, doesn't it? But they're both the cream colour. So I don't know. So yeah, I'm knitting this and this. I'm knitting this and this. Are you okay, darling? I've got 7 skeins of this, which should be plenty. I think that's 350 grams. And it's the colour 2 Nature. This does not look like a natural colour to me. But that's neither here nor there. And I decided to do the eyelets version. So the toasted pattern is incredible because you have one PDF with just the pattern in it, and then you have another PDF where she talks about some size alterations and fit alterations that you can make, and then she has another PDF where she talks about she's got 3 PDFs. What's the third one about? One of the PDFs has details of all of her, not all, a selection, quite a big selection, maybe 15 different versions of the toasted tea, and how her test knitters adjusted or added elements to the pattern to make it their own. And she gave details about it, which I thought was incredible and so above and beyond what you expect from a designer. It was so good to see it. So this is one of the versions. I'm just knitting an eyelet row every 10 rows. And to do the eyelet row, I just knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over. Yeah, I'm really enjoying knitting this. It's knitting up pretty quickly. This is about 4 hours worth of knitting. I basically knit to here. Actually, I only knit to the first row of eyelets. Tried it on, scrapped it and recast it on, and now I'm here. This is 150 gram ball. So, not too bad. I think it'll be a nice summer t-shirt. I really hope I like the fit of it when I get it done. And if I don't like the fit of it, I will pull out the yarn, put it in timeout for a little bit, and come back to it later. Get you back in there, fella. That's all my whips. I need a little bit of I feel like I've been talking for an hour. Well, I have nearly been talking for an hour. I feel like I've been talking too much. Anyway. I've only got 2. That's a lie. I have some yarn to show you. I have some yarn to show you. Let me show you. My first thing is my club from Beehive Yarns. I opened this when I received it 3 weeks ago and I cannot remember what it looks like. So this will be a little surprise for me and you again. So it comes. This is her very vintage club. Last year I got her club. It was something to do with some sort of calm vibe. What was the last year's theme? Simple pleasures. Some sort of calm vibe. Oh yeah, I forgot how great this is. Right, she always puts a little matching tea bag. What colour is the tea bag? It's my colour. You've probably seen this on her Instagram because I'm late to the party here. This is her, I think this is April. Look, it matches exactly. Oh, so much. I love it. This is their little inspo picture. This has, I need like full skeins of this to make some sort of garment. It's beautiful. I think that would be, I think it's a beautiful set for colour work, you know. I say that about everyone, but I love it. I love this colour. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? I'm really glad I got the mini skeins this time around. I love the variegated skeins. I love them. But currently they're just sitting in my sponge. I've knit a pair of socks out of 1 or 2 skeins. But it's just too beautiful and I also don't know what to put them in. So I'm so happy about that. Love this club. I haven't ever felt disappointed with it. Loved it. So that's my Beehive yarns. And then this is a bag full of yarn. This is for a specific project because I am trying to work through my stash, and I'm also trying, whenever I buy yarn, I want it to have a purpose. I don't want to just frivolously buy yarn and say, oh, I'll make a pair of socks out of that someday. I want it to have a purpose. So I want to make the Leith cardigan, which is by Rebecca Cloud from Chiaogoo Knits, Chiaogoo Designs, something like that. Let's see if I can find the pattern to show you. It's in my queue. Again, she's made so many different, let me put that away from my face. She's made so many different versions of it that I want to make like 6 of them. So this is, how cute is that? That's adorable. I love that. But this is the version I loved the most. Let me see. This. So this is, it looks two-toned. What it actually is 2 textures. Zoom. Can I zoom? No. It's 2 textures. So one is a boucle yarn and one is just a straight stockinette. I loved the subtle variegation of it. I love knitting brioche with, I'm more of a fan of brioche whenever it's very subtly different rather than big stark contrasts. I like the softer feel. So I saw that and thought, I want to knit a stripy version that gives the same vibe, but I don't want to spend money on expensive boucle yarn. So I went to, I think I actually got this from Woolmere House, and I picked up some skeins of yarn to make this. So what I'm going to do is, I have 3 different types of skein of yarn. 2 of them are Cascade Yarns Heritage, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. I love that. So let me find my little post-it note for this. Yeah. These are, I think this is Sweet Lavender and this is Thistle. Could be the other way around. These are $8.99 a skein for 100 grams skein. It is commercial yarn. This is slightly more blue than it's showing in real life. But look how beautiful they are. So I thought I could get that two-tone effect very subtly with striping these. It is a DK to like worsted weight pattern. So I'm going to hold these both together with some mohair. So this is the Drops Kid Silk Unicolor in lavender. This is $4.60 for 25 gram skein. So what I'm going to do is hold both of these with this. So what hopefully will happen is that it'll take on this deeper purple color, but I'll still get the lighter versus darker variation. And I'll kind of turn it into a more purpley one rather than this like blue. So that's the plan. I can't wait to cast this on. So I've got 2 skeins of the lighter, 2 skeins of the darker, and I think 7 of this. So it means that the jumper, how expensive is that? Let me quickly check. Say £9 times 4 is 36. And 7 times 4, 60 plus 36. 68.20, which isn't the cheapest cardigan. It's not the cheapest. But it's kind of good considering that it's a full length garment. It's a full garment, it's not a little t-shirt. So yeah, I love these two together. I really hope I like the purple with it. If I don't like the purple with it, I'll just knit these two and something else. But I think I will like it. I think it'll be nice. So that is waiting to be cast on. I think I might cast that on after my toasted tea is kind of taking shape. I don't like having too many garments on the needles at once. And I have got my Orbit sweater. It's in time out because it's not the season for it anymore. So that'll be picked up in the autumn. That's everything I have to show you. What I did want to do is run through a couple of Knitalongs that are happening at the minute that I'm going to be joining in. So I've already talked about the Dry Renee Knits Knitalong. Her Shawl-Along ends on the 31st of May, so I need to enter my is it a tune? Yeah, my tune shawl in that, so that's good. The Crazy Sock Lady has an annual summer sock camp and it is starting today. This is being recorded on Friday, the 24th. So her summer sock camp is starting today. It runs right through the summer until I think the 31st of August. So I'll be adding some socks into that. There's not really very strict rules. Any socks, any size, any yarn. It's just fun to join in. So I'll be joining in with that. As you know, I knit socks every month anyway for the Grocery Girls Sock Bash Knit-Along, which I'll be participating in. So May's theme was from the garden. So my botanical yarn socks fit that theme perfectly. And then I think I'll get Mum's socks finished before the end of the month and be able to add those in as well. And then in June, their theme is your favourite designer. So I have 3 favourites that I like. The first is obviously Tracy from the Grocery Girls. Of course I have to say that. But her patterns, her textured patterns are really easy to memorise whenever you're knitting them and really enjoyable. I love her, what's that sock called that I knit all the time? What's that one that's like coffee talk socks? Love, my brain, my memory has gone. But I love the coffee talk socks, so I'll probably knit a pair of those. Tracy's patterns I would really recommend. I also really love 2 other designers whose patterns are very bookish. And I think it's their pattern writing is very clear, but I also just like their pictures and their vibes. So the first is This Handmade Life. I've knit loads and loads of her patterns and I really enjoyed them. She goes for a kind of lacy vibe. So that's one designer that I like, and someone who's very similar to her is Ambrose Smith, who from what I can see isn't designing anymore. Her last pattern launched in 2020. But she has some beautiful designs based on books. I could hear my voice crack and distracted myself thinking about how my voice just cracked. Yeah, she has some very nice book-based sock designs too. So I'll be picking one of those, I reckon. Although it would be great if you could put your favourite sock designer down below so I could check them out. That would be great. So that's our sock Knitalongs, and then there are 2 summer t-shirt Knitalongs. One is by PurlBackKnitForward. What's that girl's name? That's so rude of me. PurlBack. There she is. Juliana. Sorry, Juliana. She is hosting the Summer Tea Mal 24. It's her 3rd annual make-along for summer tees and tank tops from May the 8th to the 17th of July 2024. Finished objects are eligible for a prize raffle and whips are allowed, although we're well into it now. So yeah, we've got till the 17th of July to whip up some tees and participate in that knit along. So I'm going to be entering my tool stuff for that and checking out the little hashtag on Instagram. And then the final Knitalong is again by the Grocery Girls. They're hosting a Tanks, Tees and Vests make along, which ends on the 31st of August. So that's a good chunk of time to knit some summer t-shirts. I've really wanted to increase my summer knitting wardrobe, and I do have some yarns there to do so I'll be doing that. Chloe actually has a lot of summer tees that she knit last year. I did want to do the podcast with her, but she's taken herself off to Greece, having a beautiful holiday. She's sending photos of like the bluest sea you've ever seen. Gorgeous, gorgeous holiday. Very jealous. But yeah, that's all of my knitting. And I guess I'll wrap it up with some lifey stuff. Things are good. I'm feeling better. We went to our little cottage. I was very sick when we went to the cottage. So it's about an hour and 20-minute drive. And my wee car is not up to crazy drives. She's a wee rusty old banger at the minute. Since my last car accident, I just picked up a crappy wee car just to be on the road. But the cottage trip was great. It's always so peaceful when we go there, and we actually had the run of the place for the couple of days that we were there. There are, I think, 6 cottages plus a main house. They're primarily a wedding venue, but you can also rent the cottages as well, just on Airbnb. So we had the run of the place. Henry was delighted. He had this huge garden to bomb about all day and loved it. There was so much to sniff for him. He was digging in, digging out, running, up and down hills, and he loves steps. So Henry was delighted. It was so warm we couldn't light the fires. I think it got to like 27 degrees Celsius here, which is hugely roasting for here. We kind of average out at like 14 degrees in summer, mostly. So 27 was pretty crazy for May. But yeah, we loved it. And we got to see the Northern Lights. So I saw, I think I was scrolling through Instagram and somebody had posted, you can see the Northern Lights from here, from the UK, go out and see them, this is the time. And it was like midnight, and Neil and I and Henry, we jumped in the car, drove off to like a little country road where it was pitch black, and got out and looked and saw the Northern Lights. So that was fab. I was so excited for that. I didn't think I would ever see them. Let me find my photo. Got a really good photo. So we saw the Northern Lights. That was lovely. And then, yeah, we just had beautiful weather. We went to the beach. It was so cute. It was so warm that day that we went to the beach. Henry loves strawberries. So I was buying sun cream, and there was a big punnets of strawberries at the till. So I bought a punnet, and then we walked along the beach at Castle Rock, which is where I used to go to as a child for our family holidays. Beautiful white sand beach in Northern Ireland. You wouldn't believe it. We walked along the beach. It was so hot, we were walking in the ice cold water, including Henry, who hates getting his posies wet. We were all in the water and just walking along the beach eating strawberries, and it was so sweet. It was so cute. It was so wholesome. I loved it. So we did that. We got a little ice cream, or as we call them at home, we got a little poke. It's a very Northern Irish thing to call an ice cream a poke. But we did, we got a poke. And then when we were driving back, I'm the driver, and I was so ill. So ill. There wasn't a word out of me. I was concentrating so much on the road. Our little car is not up to big long journeys. She started to lose power as we were going. At one point she shut down at a roundabout, and I was like, really? This is happening right now? And then got her going again, got home safely, and I conked out on the sofa. I was so ill. So ill. I genuinely thought that I might have to go to A&E because I couldn't stop shaking, and like I couldn't really catch my breath. It was pretty bad. It was a pretty bad chest infection. But got seen by the doctor. You know, they were keeping an eye on things. It's all fine. Like I said, had to go for x-rays and get my bloods taken. I have to go for some more x-rays in a couple of weeks just to check that the infection's gone. They gave me some inhalers to have to use now. They're going to test me for asthma. Yeah. I think what made it worse was that I was also on a really tough deadline for work. And I just, when you're writing anyway, is hell for me. It is like pulling teeth. I'm not one of these people that can write and redraft and redraft and redraft. I have to write it perfectly in one go. And I'll have done all the work and all the thinking in my head before, and then I'll just write what I mean to say. But it is the most painful way to write. I really wouldn't recommend it. And it's just been like that the whole way through my MA, my PhD, the postdoc, and my supervisor, my mentor, is the same. So he gets it and he's a bit more understanding. But being so sick and having to write at the same time was really difficult. And then Bridgerton came out, so I binge watched Bridgerton instead of writing. But I made my deadline. Well, I didn't. I just made my deadline. Sent that off. I pulled an all-nighter. I am not the youth I once was, because all-nighters are not for me anymore. I felt hungover for the next 2 days. So that was great. But yeah, now I'm feeling good. It feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I have one more piece of writing to do that's due at the end of June. And I anticipate it being equally as hideous, but hopefully I'm not sick while I'm writing. So yeah, that's what's been going on. I haven't been able to podcast. I was so ill and coughing constantly. I couldn't really get through a sentence without coughing, and my voice sounds croaky now. It was gone for a long time. So yeah, there was no podcasting going to happen, but I'm glad I'm feeling better. I'm glad I'm back. Today 2 of my sisters have flown over. One's already over, one's coming. Sophie is introducing her new boyfriend to the family, so that'll be interesting. Sophie's never introduced boyfriend to the family before, so we're gonna go down and have a little game night, I think. And I think I have to pick my other sister Jess up from the airport. So yeah, it'll be a little family fueled weekend. Monday's bank holiday. Not in Northern Ireland, but I work for an English university now, so I get a bank holiday on Monday. So I shall be doing lots and lots and lots of knitting. Maybe I'll cast on that cardigan. Do you think I could get most of the tea done this weekend before and then cast that cardigan on? That would be good. Those are my plans. That's all I have to say. This is a long video. I'm glad my little cowslick didn't appear too much. Thank you so much for sticking around with me. I know I keep saying, oh, it's been so long, blah blah blah. This year's been weird, and I really love coming here and sharing what I'm working on and reading your comments, and you know, I just really enjoy doing it. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm just a little bit slower these days, but fingers crossed my health keeps ticking along. I'm on all the vitamins, all the probiotics now that the antibiotics have destroyed my gut. So fingers crossed it's onwards and upwards. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves, and I will see you